and welcome to the 7 Days Report Show. I'm your host, Vasilios Nikolaos Vitsilogiannis. Your reliable source of information is here every weekend at 12 and 21. We delve into the past week's major news and bring you all the information. Our show starts right now. Armed gangs in southern Gaza are severely obstructing humanitarian aid distribution, exacerbating an already dire situation for the region's 2.3 million residents. Reports indicate that these criminal groups are looting supplies amidst acute shortages, with nearly 100 UN aid trucks stolen on November 16th alone, resulting in injuries to Palestinian drivers and further complicating relief efforts. Witnesses report that these gangs operate brazenly within sight of Israeli forces, who have been criticized for their apparent inaction. The chaos has led to a breakdown of public order, prompting Hamas to reactivate a security unit to combat the rampant theft. However, some locals view this as a strategic move by Hamas to eliminate competition in the lucrative black market for stolen goods. The humanitarian crisis is deepening as food prices soar. Essentials like flour are now priced at over $200 per bag. Aid workers are calling for the removal of restrictions imposed by Israeli authorities to facilitate the safe passage of aid trucks. Meanwhile, discussions are underway about employing private American security contractors for aid delivery, raising concerns among aid workers about potential violence and further destabilization of the region. Supporters of former Prime Minister Imran Khan have surged into central Islamabad, defying a government-imposed lockdown to demand his release from prison. Thousands of demonstrators from Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf (PTI) party breached barricades made of shipping containers and clashed with security forces, resulting in at least 6 deaths, including members of the security forces. The protests, which began on Sunday, escalated as police deployed tear gas and rubber bullets in an attempt to disperse the crowds. Khan, who has been jailed for over a year on multiple charges he claims are politically motivated, called on his supporters to continue their demonstrations until their demands are met. His party has accused the government of manipulating the political landscape and has vowed to hold a sit-in at D Chowk, a significant rallying point near key government buildings. The situation remains tense as the government has mobilized the army under Article 245 of the Constitution to restore order. Interior Minister Mohsen Naqvi warned that police would respond with live ammunition if protesters resorted to violence. Amidst these clashes, reports indicate that many journalists have also been targeted during the unrest, highlighting the chaotic atmosphere surrounding these protests. Calls for reforming Ontario's municipal integrity watchdog system are intensifying as experts criticize the current framework, labeling it an oligopoly. Former Integrity Commissioner Dax Dorazio and others argue that the province's Integrity Commissioner program, mandated for all municipalities in 2019, has become a cash cow for a select few firms that monopolize contracts across the province. This situation has led to excessive billing and questionable appointments, undermining public trust in local governance. Dorazio emphasizes the need for a watchdog of the watchdogs, advocating for provincial oversight to ensure fairness and accountability. He suggests that a centralized system could mitigate conflicts of interest and enhance transparency. Former Ottawa Integrity Commissioner Robert Marleau supports this view, noting that integrity complaints can cost taxpayers upwards of $30,000 each, highlighting inefficiencies in the current system. Despite these calls for change, the Ontario Municipal Affairs Ministry has remained silent on potential reforms. Recommendations have been made to standardize codes of conduct and improve training for integrity commissioners, but no timeline for implementation has been provided. As Ontario grapples with these issues, the future of municipal accountability hangs in the balance. On November 28, 2024, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and Latvian President Edgars Rinkēvičs held a significant summit in Seoul, focusing on enhancing cooperation in the biosector and addressing regional security concerns, particularly regarding North Korea's recent actions. During their discussions, the leaders emphasized the importance of expanding partnerships in biomedicine and pharmaceuticals, with Rinkēvičs highlighting Latvia's strategic position for collaboration in these fields. Both presidents expressed a commitment to fostering economic ties that could benefit both nations' industries and innovation capabilities. In addition to economic discussions, the summit also addressed security issues in light of North Korea's provocative behavior. The leaders acknowledged the need for a united front against threats posed by North Korea, particularly its nuclear ambitions and involvement in regional instability. Rinkovich's visit included a broader agenda aimed at strengthening bilateral relations through various sectors, such as mechanical engineering and tourism. The summit marks a pivotal step in enhancing Latvia's role within the Asia-Pacific region and underscores the growing importance of international cooperation in addressing global challenges. Tensions are escalating in the ongoing Ukraine conflict, with Russian officials expressing outrage over Ukraine's recent strikes deep within Russian territory. Following the U.S. decision to allow Ukraine to use long-range ATACMS missiles, President Vladimir Putin has intensified his rhetoric, warning of severe consequences for what he describes as NATO's aggressive maneuvers against Russia. This month, Ukraine targeted military installations in the Bryansk and Kursk regions, prompting a swift Russian response, including missile attacks on Ukrainian energy infrastructure. As winter approaches, the impact of these strikes is felt acutely in Ukraine, where energy systems are under heavy assault. Ukrainian officials have accused Russia of employing terror tactics to disrupt civilian life during the cold months. Amidst this backdrop, Putin has revised Russia's nuclear strategy, lowering the threshold for a potential nuclear response to conventional attacks supported by nuclear powers. The Kremlin's narrative portrays Ukraine's actions as escalatory, aiming to sway Western perception and deter further military support for Kyiv. However, analysts suggest that while isolated strikes may provoke fear, they are unlikely to significantly alter the war's trajectory unless they lead to substantial damage or casualties among Russian forces. As both sides brace for further confrontation, the situation remains precarious and fraught with potential for broader conflict. That was 7 Days Report. I want to thank you for being here with us all this time. I'm your host, Vasilios Nikolaos Vitsilogiannis. We'll be back in a few hours. Have a nice weekend.